Hello everyone.
And welcome to another video. And this topic states favoritism and its effects.
Um so what I would say is that favoritism can damage the child who is not receiving the Okay, what I'm trying to say is, right? Parents, grandparents, whoever might have a child or a grandchild who they love very much. There might be two children. They like A child better than B child, and B child is trying to feel loved, and it can damage that. They can damage B child, right? I don't believe in favoritism. I believe in treating your children, grandchildren, the same way. I believe that when you show favoritism to that particular child or particular person, and another person that's trying to show you love, trying to do the best for you or whatever, that makes a person feel less than. And I don't believe that a person should feel less than or whatever. And the thing is, if the funny thing is, the child that you favor don't ever care nothing about you. In some aspects is what I should say. So that's just my view on favoritism and how it can affect the child that the child is being quote unquote neglected. Another thing I want to say too is that you find people who show favoritism would have experienced the same thing when they were younger. So that's another thing to think about.
Well, favoritism have been around since Bible times. Like literally, if you're a Christian and you've read the Bible, there's stories on favoritism even in the Bible. And we have literally seen the effects, even within the Bible, of favoritism. Like, for example, Esau and Jacob, Joseph and his brothers. Like, you can see that when you favor one child over another child, or um, one person over another person, it causes issues. It stirs up jealousy, it stirs up envy, and it can lead to very devastating results. It can lead to death, and that's like within Bible times and stuff. Like today, we see the same thing, and Tony talked about children, but even favoritism with adult children, um, even when your kids are an adult, it still affects them even within their adult age because, if you've been showing favoritism to a child right through until they become an adult, that child will always have that effect of feeling like the black sheep or feeling like nobody really care about them. People know, like they will know if they're not being treated the same. And sometimes favoritism is very subtle, and sometimes it's right out there. Like you got people that will have children. You will see they give one child a snack and the other child can't get the snack. You will see they give one child an outfit or shoes or something, the other child then give up just many outfit or brand name outfits or whatever, and then the other child get just regular outfits or regular shoes or whatever. And they know the difference, whether it's because the child might be, from one father that you don't like and the other father you like, or one might be light skin and the other one might be dark skin, or whatever the situation is. The fact is both are your children, or 3 or 4 or 10, whoever. These are your children, and you should treat everybody the same. Because now, as I said, like even within Bible times, as we saw with David, I mean not David, but Joseph and his brothers, they wanted to kill Joseph because of the favoritism, right? So the same thing, like you have created such tension in your family, tension that should not have been there in the first place, um, making your children feel uncomfortable. Because now what it does not is you put one child against the next child because the child know you're favoring this child, and then they're gonna hate their sibling or hate you or hate whoever because it's like, well, why you being treated better than me, and it just causes unnecessary drama within your household for no reason. It makes no sense. The same thing too, um, even within the Bible too, I would have to go back to how some men in the Bible had more than one wife. I know usually like in our society we do monogamy or whatever, but you know, even within them they might have had favoritism too, where one woman was more treated better than the other woman or whatever. But at the end of the day, I feel like you should treat people the way you would want to be treated. You don't want to be treated unfairly. And as Tony has said, like a lot of the times where favoritism comes in is because that parent would have been um, treated the exact same way when they were a child. Maybe they were treated horribly when they were a child. They weren't treated the same or they experienced favoritism. And now, as a result, instead of breaking the chain or breaking the cycle, they continue it now with their children. But as I said before, it creates jealousy, it creates envy, and it is unnecessary. Every person is different their own um, within their own right. Every person has some things to bring to the table. Every person is have a good side, so to speak, and have a bad side, so to speak. There's some good things about them, and there's some negative things about them. Each person. Nobody's all perfect, and nobody's all bad. It just doesn't work. And also, there's some people too in some cultures, even within the Caribbean culture, some people might want a boy child or might want a girl child. And when they finally get the boy child or the girl child, they start treating them differently than how they're treating their girl children or their boy children that they had before. And people know, and as Tony said, the child that you treat, most of the time, the child that you treat differently is the child that more than often does not bend over backwards for you. But the child that you don't give as much or you're not there for as much, these are the ones that come to your back and call because they want your love. They want acceptance. So they usually know, even as an adult, they go all out to try to, show you that I'm here for you. But it shouldn't be that way. It really shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
Anything else?
And the Bible is said the chief cornerstone, the builder refused.
Is the chief they have to use.
Correct. So the thing is, with favoritism, I don't promote it. I don't like it. And as Shanita would have said, all your children are gonna have a fault somewhere. Mm-hmm. There are some things that our parents might like about us. There are other things that they won't like our behaviors or whatever. Everybody's treated the same way equally. There's no favoritism in our family, none. And I like how our parents would have raised us, because it's like, okay, Tony got this quality, Shinta got this quality, and you just work together with it. I believe when we get our children to, it's going to be the same way. The same way one getting licks, the other one getting licks. The one that getting love too. I showing love to everybody, licks to everybody who deserves it. I'm sorry, the licks is what I mean by who deserves it, because everybody deserves love, right? But the reality is, favoritism can really stain a child. I've known there are persons in my life who are even experiencing favoritism as adults, and they don't feel good about it. They do not feel good about it at all. Some people just want quality time with their family member, their parents or whatever, and instead of them getting that, the parents are being resentful. So sometimes, as Shanita would have said it, sometimes it stems from jealousy. I find in adulthood favoritism with the parent of the adult child. I find favoritism happens when they are kind of jealous. They're jealous of their children. They might be jealous of what the child has accomplished, might have be jealous of the relationship that they have with their spouse or whatever. And quite frankly, that's your child. Why are you jealous of your child? So Those are things that occur. Unfortunately, that's how it is. But we do not promote it.
Yeah. And as Sunny said, we grew up in a household where it was four children and we were all treated the same. And she said about discipline. We were all disciplined when we needed to be disciplined. You know, we didn't all get disciplined the same time if it wasn't the case that we needed to be disciplined. But I will never forget there was this story too that I saw on YouTube where this guy was talking about a story. I think he was like a Jamaican guy or whatever. He was telling the story of this this parent who wanted a boy child. She had girl children or whatever, and then she ended up having a boy child. So she treated this boy child like royalty. Everything he wanted, he got. And the girl children, they were treated just regularly, you know. And then eventually they grew up. They got the boy child moved to Canada, got married, etc., etc. I'm just gonna go through it quickly. And then afterwards, her girl children stayed in Jamaica. And of course they were there for her when they needed to be there for her, whatever. But then eventually the boy child um, invited her over to Canada with him and his wife for a little while. And as she went there, she and his spouse, they would get into it on a regular basis. And then basically he said that the person telling the story said that eventually they butt heads and he did not stand up for his mother. You know, sometimes when it comes to choosing your mother or choosing a spouse, it might be a rock and a hard place. I personally feel like if it comes to your spouse and your parent, I feel like you should be the better person to create peace between the two. You shouldn't really choose sides because you can never win choosing sides. You know, at any day, your spouse you lay down with at night, at the end of the day, that's your mom who gave birth to you. And you just want to be a middle person where you create a peaceful situation. But anyhow, it seems like according to the guy, he basically, was rude to his mom as well. And basically broke her heart because he stopped speaking to his mother, and it was just a very tension driven home. And eventually she packed up, went back to Jamaica, and it devastated her. Her daughters kept asking her what was wrong, like they could see the change in her behaviors, but she didn't want to tell the daughters. But she told a friend from church, and the friend from church eventually told the daughters. And what happened was, as time passed, this woman became so heartbroken and so devastated that eventually she passed away from a broken heart. That's what he said. So basically, this is the effect. Now this is showing a different side of favoritism now, because this is the mom who was showing favoritism to the son, and in the end, the son broke her heart and caused her. I don't want to say he caused her death, but as a result, she died. So yeah, it is not worth it. This whole thing of I love, because that's what it comes down to, is that you love one child more than you love the other, or you love one sibling more than you love the other, you love whatever, one parent more than you love the other. At the end of the day, we are all people and we all make mistakes and we all have something to be positive about, we all have something that's negative about us. But the important thing is to treat people properly. Treat people how you would want to be treated. And it causes um, you to have a more peaceful household, a more peaceful. Don't get me wrong, because there are some parents that have treated their children with love, treated them equally, treated them with respect, all this stuff, and then the children grow up, and as with all children, some are gonna act like they don't care and they're disrespectful, and you would have given them all, you've been treating all your children the same, whatever, and some of them, you know, they act like you haven't done nothing for them in life, and then the other ones are there for you. That's a total different situation too. But just treat everybody equally, and
Yeah.
basically it will be peace. Or you will hope that there will be peace. Like I said, it will be peace because everybody be treated equally within the house growing up. But when children grow up, they go their own ways. That's a whole different situation.
That's another topic for
That's
another
another
day.
topic for another day, correct?
Yeah.
So,
With that being said, I think we outdid ourselves. um, Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are so grateful for the subscribers that we have thus far. And please leave a comment about your if you have an experience about favoritism in your family, or if you have been affected by favoritism in the family. So you can share that with us.
Like,
share, and
and
subscribe.
subscribe. Thank
Until
you.
next time.
Thank you for watching. Bye.